That one was definitely going to be the final Crossroads concert of all time. And then a couple years later, they had another one in New York City, and that finally, it was done. That was the end. There were going to be no Crossroads concerts ever again. And then 3 years ago, there was another one in Dallas, and that was the absolute final, never to be repeated again concert for Crossroads. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? The final one already took place. Why are you here? What are you expecting anyway? What kind of people are you anyway? Now, you already did something nice today just by buying a ticket. Just by buying a ticket, you've given some money to pay for the Crossroads headquarters in Antigua. It is a premier recovery vacation destination. And it has changed the lives of thousands of people. So you're already way ahead of the thing. You can kind of coast a little bit. You can feel pretty good about your damn selves. But what if this really is the final Crossroads concert ever? What are you going to do about it? I think, yeah, let's get some results. I think it's going to be very important for us to come together as a group. I think there's something like 8 billion people on the planet. But we have 20,000 right here in the crypto right now. We got 20,000, and I think if we could become sort of like one very powerful force, we could make a dent in something. I don't know what we would make a dent in, but I do believe that we could make a dent. And I think it's important that we do that. I'm excited to do that. I'm really excited that we could do that. Excited is not the word. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Come on, everybody say that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I say it one more time. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Now, I'm not getting it from everyone, to be honest. I'm fortunate from some people over here. I'm so blessed over here. I'm a lucky son of a bitch over here. You know, that's not it. But I've learned, I'm an educator in my spare time. That's what I do. It's my side gig. And I've learned that a lot of people, when I try to instruct, they don't listen to me. They just don't listen to me. So I've learned that sometimes they need a visual cue to help them. And I think we've prepared something. Do we have something we can show the folks just to help out a little bit? Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay, next card. Try it again. They're doing great. Come on, try it again. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. You know, I just heard word from backstage that it seems like they may have settled this Writers Guild strike. It may have really happened. That means that people can go back to work. And even better, you can go back to work or not go back to work. Isn't that the greatest of all? You don't have to, but you can if you wish to. All right, let's try it one more time, okay? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. You know, it's good, but it's not great. We need a little bit more help. There's a way that we can take this arrow and fire it up through the roof of the Crypto Center. What we need is a special something, a special boost, a special gift. a special sound, a special percussive musical sound that would take us and drive us up into the sky, above the clouds of Los Angeles, above the Southern California basin, way, way up there. Can you see it up there? Can you hear that sound? Can you hear it? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Do you know how to play that sound?
You said you can only make it.
I think I got some help on this. There's a fella who can make us sing this thing. We don't have to speak it anymore. Everybody, your house for today, tomorrow, and the rest of your life. Sir Eric Clapton. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Whisper this one. I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad. I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad.
I'd like to say thank you for coming. 25 years. Pretty good. We're still going to keep going. And the guy that always answers the invitation first, always plays first, please welcome Mr. Sonny Landry.